It's time to call Double T for Bar Comedy USA News Live. I'll be right back in just a minute or two. Get Double T on the phone. Not even that long, really. Stick around. I want to give some shout-outs here real quick. Shout-outs to some amazing Road Warrior comedians, which is also what we're going to talk about today on Bar Comedy USA News. The ultimate Road Warrior stand-up comedians. Comment below where you are watching from, and I will let you know when the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour is coming to a town near you, and I'll also let you know when the World Series of Comedy will be in your area. Let me get Double T on the phone. There you are, Double T. I'm calling you right now, my friend. I'll be right back. We got shout outs, and we're going to talk to Double T with this edition of Bar Comedy USA News. Okay, Double T not there right now. I just got a text from him. Something popping off at the studio. Whatever's happening there. So we will be starting live with that. However, I'll go ahead and give the shout-outs right now. I teased it a little while ago. Comment below where you're watching from. I'll let you know when the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour is coming to a town near you. You can go to barcomictix.com for the full schedule coming up. We got more shows to add for June, or for maybe for June. Definitely for July and August. There are more to add. So go to barcomictix.com. Let me get that fixed. All right. And Steve Sabo, Road Warrior for decades, took his sidekick, the hilarious comedy kid, Scott Putman. They went all the way to Mandan, North Dakota. They did a great show at the Stage Stop. It was their first one. It was a little bit dicey, which can be sometimes when it's a venue's first time bringing in live stand-up comedy. People can sometimes not know exactly what to expect. Oh, now I'm getting a call from Double T. Double T. What happened? Oh, that's all right. That's weird. That's the topic of today's episode.
Car problem.
Road warrior comedians and their car problems.
Right. Is this number okay to record it off of?
Yeah, do you want to record right now over what you called me, or do you want me to call you back?
It's up to you. I don't know how you... this is fine for me, but I didn't know how you had yours set up.
Oh, yeah. No, let me just call you right back because I'm holding
Okay.
like a cell phone up to my ear.
Sure, okay.
At this number or the usual number?
Usual number.
Okay, I'll call you right back. Oh, that'll be fun. Double T. I mean, it's not fun. The Double T had car problems. But that is today's topic. All right, here we go.
What up?
Double T.
Two. All right. I think we're all ready now.
Okay. I'm good when you are.
Okay, here we go. Rockford's home for Classic Rock 96.7 The Eagle. Good morning, it's Double T. Double T Morning, sponsored by Tommy's Express Car Wash in Loves Park on Forest Hills and East Riverside. It's time for Bar Comedy USA News with comedian Jared-Dog. Jared-Dog, what's happening today?
Hey, good morning, Double T. I just want to take some time with you this morning to get real about something.
You know what? I'm ready to get real, man. What are we getting real about this morning?
It's something that I think a lot of people can relate to, but especially the true road comic, and that is the car breakdown.
That is the worst. It doesn't matter what you do. You having any car problem sucks. But then as you're a road comic trying to get to your next gig, that's even worse.
Oh, you know, Double T, I've been thinking about this a little bit, and a while back, I had my own car issues. I was ranting and raving about it. It bummed me out for an entire week. I've been talking about doing the World Series of Comedy. We had one of our hosts on the way to one of the shows actually had their car stolen in Memphis.
What? That's crazy.
Unbelievable, right? How unbelievable is it that a Hyundai would be stolen in Memphis? And then just last week, we had some comedians for the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour on their way through Virginia, and boom, Axle just goes out when they hit a pothole.
Oh, man, that is the worst. Oh, man.
Double T, you know as well as I do, when you're in show business like you are, it doesn't matter what happened. Rule number one, the show must go on, and that's why these guys are the real road warriors of the asphalt. They're the gladiators of gravel. And you know as well as I do, no matter what happens to your ride on the way to the gig, you make the show. Am I right?
Yeah, you got to. You got to make the show because especially at that point, you take every show you can get. You got to take advantage of it. It makes you better. And, missing a show because not only are you depending on it, but the venue you're heading to, they've got a bar or club or whatever full of people ready to be entertained, and then if you don't show up, man, it ruins everybody's day.
It ruins everybody's day, and this is the thing that you don't think about when you're little tiny Jer-Pup dreaming about someday becoming a rich and famous stand-up comedian. You realize you very quickly also have to become a mechanic.
So, did you get pretty good at being able to fix your car on the fly?
Double T, I don't want to lie to you and say I got good at it. I will say any sane person would call AAA. But a road comic? Hell no. You know, you're going to pop the hood. Not because they have any clue what they're doing, but because standing there looking at the engine makes them feel like they're in control of the situation. And we all know AAA ain't showing up till after the gig is going to be done anyway.
Right. Isn't that the first thing you do, though? You pop the hood and you just look at it. And you may have no idea what you're looking at, but it makes you feel a little bit better that you at least tried.
You know, there was one time, it was actually right outside of Rockford, alternator goes out. We had the idea, the other comedian and myself, when we call AAA, we'll get the tow truck, and they'll just tow us into Chicago where we can swap out vehicles.
Right. Yeah, that sounds good.
Well, that sounds great until you realize spending 2 hours in a tow with a tow truck driver is not exactly the best way to spend your afternoon.
Well, there's not that much room either, especially if there's more than one of you.
Well, you know, I'm not even going to go off on the rant right now that you've triggered in me because I'm the one that had to take the middle seat.
Oh, man, that's the worst.
You know, by the time we finally got there, we were best friends, and I had half my set written just from the conversation.
It's all part of the experience, though, isn't it, of being a road comic?
It's absolutely all part of the experience. True road comics don't let a little thing like a car breakdown stop them. And that's why I really want to give a shout out to these comedians. I'm just going to say their names. It's Milton Wiley and Andy Gunnan. They did what they had to do, and they made the gig by the skin of their teeth, but they made the gig because the audience doesn't care what hell you went through to get there. They just want to laugh.
That is so true, and that's why we talk Bar Comedy USA news each and every week so you can learn about the things that these comedians go through to put on a show for you. Tell everybody about the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour and where they can find it.
Yeah, absolutely. Go to barcomictix.com. You can get our upcoming schedule. We've got more shows to add for July and August, but it's all happening at barcomictix.com.
Rockford's home for classic rock, 96.7 The Eagle. Yup. Fun stuff like that.
Yeah. I thought you might drop a line or two about your situation.
Yeah.
Maybe too soon?
I just found out right before I called you, so it still hurts a lot.
Right. Yeah.
And especially then when you brought up the axle, that's the problem I'm having. So.
Oh, no. It's like the car's driving down and the car just decides to take a nap. It's like, screw it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm stopping right here.
Oh, boy. But, yeah, so luckily they take credit cards and, go from there then.
Okay, buddy. Well, good luck. I know what it's like.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
All right. Talk to you next week.
All right. Yeah, talk to you. Bye.
That was Double T. That was crazy. The whole edition was going to be about the struggles that road comedians face with car breakdowns and mishaps on their way to the gig and how they still make the gig anyway. And here's Double T dealing with a car breakdown on the way to his gig and still made it anyway. For this edition of Bar Comedy USA News, I do want to give a shout out to Milton Wiley and Andy Gunnan, who did make that show. I talked about it last week, but Andy went way out of his way to pick him up. They just made the gig, and that's the crazy stuff that road comics will do. Also, Steve Sabo and Scott Putnam went from Mandan, North Dakota, all the way to Juneau, Wisconsin, and that was a hell of a drive, where they did a show at the County Pub, and I guess everybody, which is not that unusual in Wisconsin, were already pretty well drunk by 7 p.m., and there were 3 people left in the bar at 8 when the show started. So we're going to maybe get some more details on what went on there. And Mulligan's on the Green in Fairfax, Virginia. Absolutely loved you guys. Big Rich Green and Tyrone Gaines. They said the show was a 10 out of 10. And also at the CIR Grill, which is the Colonial Italian Restaurant and Grill in Colonial Heights, Virginia, Milton Wiley. back on the road. And they crushed it with Bill Stone. And there's some photos on my Facebook down below, or wherever you're watching, on YouTube or wherever. Just comment below, and I'll let you know when the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour will be headed your way. And I'll let you know all about the World Series of Comedy as well on the future editions of Bar Comedy USA News. All right, that's it. This is Jared Dog, over and out. Thank you very much. See you next week, 8:15, or as close as possible.